services to a halt. 3 homes declared uninhabitable following today's fire. And the Maldives and Oman signed 2 significant agreements towards mutual cooperation.
Welcome to News. I'm Yusubin Mohammed. A fire that broke out at the Ministry of Housing, Land and Urban Development in Male early this morning has been successfully contained by emergency services.
The fire, which began between 6:30 and 6:45 on the first floor of the westernmost tin building, prompted a large-scale emergency response and evacuation operation. The fire quickly spread to the neighboring structures, affecting multiple government buildings, including the Green Building, Ministry of Construction and Infrastructure, the Ministry of Environment, Climate Change and Energy. The incident drew immediate attention from top government officials, with President Dr. Mohammed Moise, Defence Minister Mohammed Ghassan Maumoon and Speaker of Parliament Abdurrahim Abdullah visiting the scene. According to the Defence Minister, all available military resources were deployed to combat the fire. He explained that the primary focus had been on evacuating nearby residents to safe locations, adding that by the time this crucial evacuation was completed, the fire had already spread significantly within the building. The Maldives National Defence Force MNDF Fire and Rescue Service, alongside other emergency services, coordinated a comprehensive response. The National Disaster Management Authority NDMA established an emergency evacuation centre at the social centre to accommodate displaced residents, while the Maldives Red Crescent MRC assisted with coordination efforts. The incident caused significant disruption to local transport, with the Maldives Transport and Contracting Company MTCC announcing that the RTL bus service on the Amini route would be suspended and warning of potential disruptions to West Park route services. In response to health concerns from the heavy smoke, the Ministry of Health issued public safety advisories, particularly for individuals with respiratory or heart conditions. Residents were advised to keep doors and windows closed and to avoid smoke-affected areas unless absolutely necessary. Despite the extent of the fire, the Housing Ministry indicated that critical records, including those related to the Gedorveria housing scheme, remain secure in the ministry's cloud system. Teams are currently working to salvage documents from the City Council's land and building section and vital registration offices located within the affected area. The NDMA continues to maintain its emergency helpline 115 for affected residents requiring assistance. While the immediate crisis has been contained, authorities are yet to determine the cause of the fire or assess the full extent of damage to the government facilities.
The aftermath of Thursday's major fire at the Ministry of Housing, Land and Urban Development has resulted in significant disruption to government services and local residents, with 3 homes declared uninhabitable and more than 50 individuals relocated to temporary accommodation.
The National Disaster Management Authority's Chief Executive, Hisan Hassan, reported that emergency sustenance has been provided to affected residents, with some being permitted to relocate to family homes. The NDMA, working alongside police forces, is conducting rapid evaluations of surrounding buildings to assess their safety. The fire has led to the temporary suspension of services across 3 government ministries: the Ministry of Construction and Infrastructure, Ministry of Climate Change, Environment and Energy, and Ministry of Housing, Land and Urban Development. Officials confirmed that the Housing Ministry building has been completely destroyed in the incident, though they emphasized that all digital records, including data for the Gedorveria scheme, Bimveria scheme, and Hiavehi financing program, remain secure in cloud storage. Defence Minister Mohammed Ghassan Maumoon detailed the emergency response, explaining that immediate action was taken upon receiving reports of the fire at 6:30. The minister highlighted that the Maldives National Defence Force deployed all available firefighting equipment with additional support from the Maldives Airports Company Limited, which provided vehicles to assist in the operation. The incident has also impacted local education, with morning classes at 4 nearby schools being suspended. The NDMA has established an emergency evacuation center at the social center, providing both shelter and psychosocial support to those affected. Evacuees may need to remain at the center for 4 to 6 hours while authorities assess the situation. Financial assistance is being arranged for those affected, with the NDMA confirming its readiness to provide support to ensure adequate shelter during the emergency response period. Residents requiring assistance are being urged to contact the NDMA through their emergency hotline at 115. All 3 affected ministries have confirmed that no staff members were injured in the incident. The ministries are currently seeking temporary workspaces to resume their operations, with dates for service resumption to be announced in due course. The Housing Ministry has assured the public that it is working closely with relevant authorities to address safety and security measures related to the fire, with further details to be shared as the situation develops.
President Dr. Mohammed Moise has extended his heartfelt congratulations to King Salman bin Abdulaziz and Crown Prince and Defense Minister Mohammed bin Salman on Saudi Arabia's successful bid to host the 2034 FIFA World Cup. In a statement posted on X, President Dr. Moise highlighted the significance of the win, describing it as a testament to Saudi Arabia's growing influence and leadership on the global stage. It is a proud moment not only for the kingdom, but to the entire Arab world and the broader Islamic community, the president said. He commended the kingdom's leadership for earning the trust and confidence of the international community, which paved the way for the historic achievement. The president also expressed optimism that the 2034 FIFA World Cup would go beyond being a mere sporting event. He envisioned it as an opportunity to foster global unity, celebrate cultural ties, and strengthen the spirit of friendship through sport. The announcement came during FIFA's extraordinary congress held via video conferencing on Wednesday, where Saudi Arabia emerged as the sole contender for the tournament after Australia withdrew its bid at the last minute. FIFA had earlier allocated hosting rights for the 2034 World Cup exclusively to nations from Asia and Oceania, providing Saudi Arabia with a clear path to secure the honor. This victory cements Saudi Arabia's position as a rising hub for global sports and major international events. The kingdom has already hosted a range of prestigious competitions in recent years, aligning with its Vision 2030 strategy to diversify its economy and promote cultural exchange. Maldivian Parliament has approved a motion directing the Prosecutor General to launch a criminal investigation into former President Ibrahim Saleh, former Economic Minister Fayyaz Ismail, and former Minister at the President's Office, Minister Ali Shiam. The parliamentary vote demonstrated strong support for the investigation, with 55 members voting in favor and 11 members opposing the motion. The dissenting votes came exclusively from the Maldivian Democratic Party, MDP. According to the Finance Committee's report, the investigation will focus on allegations of state fund misappropriation and questionable financial agreements made during their tenure. The report specifically highlights the role of Saleh and Shiam as Economic Council co-chairs in approving these agreements, while Fayyaz is cited for his involvement in their implementation. The investigation scope encompasses settlements made between 2019 and 2023, which the committee has deemed invalid. These transactions reportedly involve the allocation of 36 islands, 6 lagoons, and disbursements exceeding MVR 2 billion. Of particular note is a MVR 61.2 million payment to Le Triveni JV and the Baja investment, which was suspended in February 2024 following the intervention from the Attorney General's office. The Parliament has instructed relevant authorities to pursue the recovery of compensated assets and investigate any payments that may have violated the Finance Act. Parliament has passed the Foreign Currency Bill, which requires tourist facilities to conduct transactions in US dollars as part of the efforts to address the country's foreign exchange challenges. The bill, introduced by Inguradu MP Falah on behalf of the government, received overwhelming support, with 56 members voting in favor. Under the foreign exchange bill, resorts must exchange either USD 500 per tourist or 20% of their foreign exchange income for the month through the local banking system. Guest houses, safari vessels, and other tourism-related facilities are required to exchange USD 25 per tourist or 20% of their monthly foreign exchange income. The Public Accounts Committee, which reviewed the bill in a closed session, approved it with 2 significant amendments. This include raising the age of exemption from 10 to 12 years and allowing resorts facing financial difficulties to exchange less than 20% of their foreign exchange revenue, subject to approval by the Maldives Monetary Authority, MMA. We'll be back after a short break. Welcome back. The Maldives and Oman have further deepened their long-standing relationship with the signing of 2 significant agreements during a meeting between Maldivian Foreign Minister Dr. Abdullah Khalil and Omani Foreign Minister Syed Badr bin Hamad bin Hamoud Al Busaidi. The agreements include a mutual visa exemption agreement for holders of diplomatic, special, service, and official passports, and a memorandum of understanding on political consultations aimed at facilitating diplomatic engagement and enhancing strategic dialogue between the 2 nations. During comprehensive discussions at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Oman, the ministers reflected on over 4 decades of diplomatic ties rooted in Islamic heritage and values. They explored opportunities for enhanced collaboration in trade, tourism, education, and investment promotion, while highlighting the importance of fostering people-to-people connections. Minister Dr. Khalil expressed gratitude for Oman's steadfast support to the Maldives and reaffirmed the Maldives' commitment to further strengthening the bilateral partnership. Plans to convene the first round of political consultations at a mutually convenient time were also discussed, demonstrating both nations' dedication to advancing shared goals and unlocking opportunities for mutual development. As part of his official visit, Minister Dr. Khalil met with Deputy Prime Minister for International Relations and Cooperation Affairs and Special Representative of His Majesty the Sultan, Syed Asad bin Tariq Al Said. They exchanged greetings from their respective leaders, with the Deputy Prime Minister reaffirming Oman's commitment to bolstering ties. Their discussions focused on enhancing cooperation in trade, tourism, fisheries, and investment, with Minister Dr. Khalil expressing appreciation for Oman's long-standing support to the Maldives. Minister Dr. Khalil also met with Sultan bin Salim bin Saeed Al Habsi, Omani Minister of Finance, to discuss expanding bilateral cooperation, exploring investment opportunities, and aligning development policies to foster stronger economic partnerships. Minister Dr. Khalil was accompanied by senior officials from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, including Dr. Hala Hamid, Secretary for Bilateral Affairs, Fatima Naima, Senior Under Secretary, and Muhammad Shujao, Assistant Director. His official visit is set to conclude on Friday. Minister of Cities, Local Government and Public Works Adam Sharif Umar has announced that an agreement to begin work on the construction of 55 new council buildings will be signed by the end of this month. Speaking on MMTV's Bodu Khabaru program, Minister Adam Sharif highlighted that the urgent need for innovations and infrastructure development in council offices had been a long-standing issue. He noted that little progress had been made over the past 15 years in terms of improving the physical infrastructure of council offices, with nearly all councils requiring significant maintenance. The minister went on to explain that the president had recognized this need and had plans to initiate 2 major projects aimed at addressing these challenges. One project, which will be carried out with the support from the Chinese government, focuses on building new council offices, while the second involves the renovation of existing council buildings as part of the Public Sector Investment Program (PSIP). Minister Adam Sharif emphasized that upon completion of these projects, 71% of the councils across the Maldives would be fully renovated or newly built, significantly boosting the infrastructure supporting local governance. Deputy Mayor of Male, Ahmed Riyaz, has commended the efforts of the current administration in addressing challenges inherited from the previous government. Speaking on MMTV's Rayitunga Difauga program, Naresh highlighted the government's focus on restoring stability and ensuring progress. He urged members of the opposition, the Maldivian Democratic Party, MDP, to respect the current administration's efforts to foster peace and observe the positive developments being implemented across the nation. The deputy mayor expressed concern over the lack of accountability and sincerity in the actions of the previous administration, highlighting examples such as last-minute policy changes and housing allocations that appear to prioritize certain individuals. Naresh also emphasized that recent amendments to the constitution aimed at protecting citizens' rights have laid foundation for long-term sustainable development. He encouraged the opposition to support these efforts and allow the government to continue delivering progress for the people of the Maldives. The Minister of Economic Development and Trade, Muhammad Saeed, has confirmed that the free trade agreement with China will take effect within 20 days. Speaking on MMTV's Rayitunga Difauga program, Minister Saeed stated that duties on 70 to 90% of the Chinese imports will be eliminated under the agreement, significantly reducing costs on a wide range of products. The minister also noted that under the currency swap agreement with India, imports from India can be paid in Maldivian rupiah starting next year. The government has also introduced India's instant payment system, RuPay cards, under the Unified Payment Interference (UPI). Thank you for watching MM News. I'm Yusuf bin Muhammad and have a great day.